Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Today we have some very exciting news for you guys. This news actually broke about a week ago, but I was not, making videos at that time. So coming back today, I really want to talk about it. I don't know if you guys know about this because it actually has not been covered a lot on YouTube, which is really surprising to me because it honestly is one of the more exciting video game announcements for racing that I've heard in honestly quite some time. So I'm pretty excited to talk about this today with you guys, so definitely let me know down in the comments what your guys' thoughts on this announcement are, because I'm pretty excited, but I know that maybe this won't float everybody's boat. So without further ado, let's get into the topic of conversation for this video. So as you may know, in I believe January, iRacing acquired Monster Games, which is the development company responsible for the NASCAR Heat series. Obviously, the NASCAR Heat series had big time mixed reviews. I personally really enjoyed that series, but a lot of people didn't. I know the earlier games were pretty bad, but the later games I thought did a really good job. I still go back and play NASCAR Heat 5 quite frequently, to be honest with you. And Monster Games has also put out some other really good games. Like, for example, the one that you're watching in this video here is Tony Stewart's Sprint Car Racing, and he also has Tony Stewart's All-American Racing. So honestly, at most retailers they sell them in like a 2-pack, for around 30 to 40 bucks. So if you have the chance, I definitely would recommend buying these games. I really enjoy them, and you don't see a ton of gameplay on them. They're a couple years old now, but you don't really see anybody playing these games on YouTube, and I think they're really underrated. They kind of have the same base as the NASCAR Heat games, I would say. They have a career mode, championship mode, all the just normal basic stuff you'd expect in a racing game. But I think that the racing on track is honestly more fun than the Heat games, to be honest with you. I like the physics more, and I think that dirt racing honestly lends itself pretty good to a video game. So I would highly recommend these games to anybody that's looking for them. And honestly, the beauty of them is that they cover so much of dirt racing, which I really enjoy. The first game, Sprint Car Racing, has just the Midget Series, the 305 Wingless Sprints, and the 410 Sprints. And the 410 Sprints are actually in the game as the All-Star Circuit of Champions, which I believe is a dirt racing actual sanctioning body. I'm much more familiar with the World of Outlaws than the All-Star Circuit of Champions, but I would assume that they have some, big races. I'm not really familiar with any of the drivers in that game, to be honest with you. But then the second game, Tony Stewart's All-American Racing, has the U.S. Legends, Street Stocks, and Big Block Modifieds, which I think is really fun because this game basically has, apart from late models, if you buy this 2-pack, you have pretty much every class of dirt racing that you could possibly want. And then last year they announced, basically without warning, they had a week of hype that they announced the SRX the game, which is basically a continuation of these two games, but it has Pro Stocks, which are obviously a asphalt series. It has late models, it has 305s again, and it has the SRX cars. It also has trophy trucks. I kind of forgot about that because it doesn't really fit in with the rest of the game. But that game is interesting because it also brings in local asphalt short track racing, which I think is really cool. But literally, if you buy those 3 games, you have pretty much every single discipline of dirt track racing covered, which I think is really fun. As a big dirt racing guy, I feel like not enough people talk about these games because they're really good games. But so when I found out that iRacing had bought Monster Games, I was pretty excited. And I remember Real Radman put out a video about it, and he talked about the possibility of getting a World of Outlaws game or something like that, or just another Tony Stewart game with iRacing's backing, which I thought would be really cool. And I got pretty excited about it, and then it fell off the face of the planet for about 2 months. And then again, I was watching Real Radman the other day, and he just kind of off the cuff said that, oh yeah, iRacing and Monster Games are going to put out this World of Outlaws game in the fall. And I thought that was absolutely crazy, so I looked into it a little more, and coming this fall, iRacing is publishing a game developed by Monster Games that's going to be sponsored by the World of Outlaws. And we don't know very much about this game. All we know is that it's produced by Monster Games, so it's probably going to be a lot like these dirt games. And it is going to have assets from iRacing, which is really cool because some of the problems with this game that make it a little bit less than it could be is that there's not a ton of like real tracks or real drivers or that kind of stuff. But with World of Outlaws backing it and iRacing like scanned tracks, I feel like there's no way that this game is not going to be incredible. You know, we don't know a ton about this game. We know that it's obviously going to have iRacing assets, but we also know that it's going to have improved physics models based on the iRacing model, which is very, very cool. One of the bad things about this game is that there's basically no damage on the sprint cars, which I think is kind of unfortunate because, you know, sprint cars obviously are, not gonna lie, one of the most entertaining things to watch get destroyed. You see these cars just like bump tires with each other and guys are going flying through the air, the wings are coming off, and it's just crazy. So, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that there's not a ton of damage in this game, but I do already think that the physics in this game are okay. You know, if you accelerate too fast or you get too much on the throttle right away, your car will kind of do a wheelie, which happens in real sprint cars. So I think it's interesting that they were able to work that into the game. One thing is that the cars are not as receptive as I feel like they should be, because if you watch an actual sprint car race, you know, when they're bumping tires and that kind of stuff, if they hit a tire like close, you know, the car will just go flying through the air and flip like 15 times, and you don't really get that in this game, which is too bad. I think it drives a little bit too much like a late model in this game rather than a sprint car, but I still do think it's really cool. And I think that Monster Games with this game has the potential to do something really, really cool. So as more info comes out, I'm sure I'll be covering pretty much every aspect of this game, because I'm really, really excited for this game. And another thing that I might do is just look back at each of these games that they've released individually and just kind of do a little rundown of them and show you guys what it's kind of all about, so you get an idea what the game could be about when it comes out in the fall. So if you'd like to see that, please let me know, because, you know, I don't want to do it if there's obviously no audience for it, but I think there's definitely an audience for this kind of stuff on YouTube. Basically nobody's covering this game, which is just crazy to me, so I'm pretty excited about it. I hope you guys are too. A little bit of a shorter video today, but I was just excited and wanted to put this out. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.